Hey guys, Josh here, and in today's video I will be reviewing a very unique game called Unpacking. This game released on November 2nd, 2021. It is available on Steam, Xbox One, as well as Series S and X, and the Nintendo Switch. I've had the chance to play the demo a little while ago. I have a video on that if you're interested in seeing me going through the first 2 levels of the game. But I've also received a review key for the game. I just finished playing through it this afternoon, and I really feel the need to tell you all about this game. Before we start, I just want to let you know that in this video I will show footage of the first 3 levels of the game, and I'll do my best to keep spoilers to a strict minimum. But in all honesty, this game is best enjoyed if you just experience it without knowing anything and you just jump right into it. So I'll tell you my conclusion right away, which is that this game is an incredibly unique experience and you should buy it, then play it and come back to this video. But if you're still not convinced, then you can watch this video first and you can make up your mind after. So right away, the premise of this game is something I don't think we've seen in any other game before. You follow the main character as she moves from one place to the next, and your goal is just to unpack boxes and place their content around the character's new place. So I'll start by explaining how the gameplay mechanics actually work, then I'll tell you what makes this game so great. So the actual gameplay is pretty straightforward. In each level you'll have different rooms, and each room will be filled with boxes. You simply click on a box to open it and take the next item that's inside. You can then place that item pretty much anywhere in that room, on the floor, on the bed, on a desk by the window, on shelves, in the closet, and you can even put it in a different room if you'd like. And once a box is empty, it will disappear, and so you'll just want to empty all the boxes and find a place for each item. Once all the boxes are gone, you will most likely see certain items highlighted. This means that these items are in the incorrect place. If you did something obviously wrong, such as putting cooking utensils in the bedroom, of course the game will let you know. But some items are a little bit more tricky. For example, a backpack cannot be put on the floor, while other items such as a soccer ball can, or a diary might have to be kept hidden. You'll have to put yourself in the mind of the character to figure out where certain items can and cannot be placed. So this is where the puzzle aspect of the game comes in. And also most of the time you'll have quite a lot of things to unpack, and your rooms will fill up very quickly. This means that if you placed one item at the wrong spot, you'll have to take some time to just rearrange things and try to find a suitable spot to place it. And it sometimes feels like an extremely casual version of Tetris, especially in the kitchen, I find, where you always have so many dishes, pots and pans, and cooking ingredients, and you have to place everything in tiny little cupboards, and you don't have a lot of counter space most of the time. So that being said, this game is far from being stressful or challenging. So yes, you might struggle a time or two to find a spot for an item, but overall it's an oddly satisfying experience to unpack everything, place and organize your stuff, and just watch your home come to life. And if you're not into that puzzle aspect and you don't want to figure out where you can or cannot place items, there is also an accessibility feature that allows you to progress to the next stage no matter where you place the items. So if you're interested, you can do that. However, I would highly recommend keeping the default settings if you want to get the whole experience this game has to offer, because sometimes where you can or cannot place an item will give you some insights as to what's happening with the game and the characters and everything. So I would recommend leaving that feature by default if you can. So when you finish unpacking successfully and everything's at the right place, you will move on to the next place, and there are 8 places to which you will move in total. You will also get the chance to take photos of each place, and you can also apply some filters and stickers, so there's a little camera mode integrated into the game, which is pretty nice. And even though I said earlier that some items have to be in certain spots, most of the time you have a lot of freedom as to where you want to place your items. So if you're proud of one arrangement you made in your room, well, you can take photos of that and you can apply some filters and stickers. And you will also get new stickers by progressing in the game and by completing certain achievements. I won't spoil any of the achievements because I think one of the most satisfying things in this game is finding them, which usually happens by placing certain items together or moving an item to a specific area and things like that. So I'll leave you the pleasure of discovering the achievements, but yeah, so these are gonna get you some stickers that you can use in the camera mode. And this also adds some replay value to the game. If you're trying to get all of the stickers, you can go back to any of the previous places, any of the previous homes, and you can redecorate them. You can move things around at any time and try to get all of the different stickers. And as I said, there are 8 stages, and it doesn't seem like a lot. It actually just took me 2 hours and a half to complete my first playthrough. And while it is super short, and this might put off some people hearing this, rest assured that the experience is definitely worth it. Sometimes a very polished and moving game that keeps you highly captivated for 3 hours can be way more memorable than a 40-hour game where you just keep doing the same things on. And I can say with confidence that this is one of the games where this 2 to 4 hours experience, depending on the pace, depending on the speed at which you play, will definitely be worth it. Think of it like a movie, right? Usually movies are going to be from like 1 hour and a half to 3 hours. They can be kind of short compared to a video game, but sometimes you get lots of emotions and you'll have a really good time. So this game is kind of an experience like this, right? So it's a very short but very intense, very good experience. And let me tell you the things that actually made this game an incredible experience for me. The first one is the polish and attention to details. So one little example is that every time you place an item, there's going to be a sound effect, which will change depending on the material of each item and the surface you put it on. For example, if you put a plate on a wooden table, it will make a different sound than if you were to put it in the sink. Also, if you put a plate on another plate, so you can pile up the plates before you put them in the cupboards, the sound effect, just the animations and everything feels so satisfying for some reason. And you can also open and close all drawers, cupboards, shower doors, closets. And another little detail is that if there's something blocking the way of the door of the closet, for example, well, the door won't close properly, it will bounce back, and it's just a little detail, but the animation and the sound effect just makes everything feel oddly satisfying for some reason. And this game is just filled with little details like this that just make the experience so special. It really sounds silly, but all of these little details together really do make a big difference. But above everything else, what really makes this game special is the story. Even though you don't see the characters and there is basically no text in this game except when you just finish unpacking a place, there's gonna be a picture in a photo album with a little note from the character. But beside that, there's no text. However, as you unpack, you will really get attached to the main character. At first, you'll see obvious things such as the fact that she's a kid that goes to school, and you'll get a little glimpse of her hobbies and favorite toys. But as she grows older and gets through different stages of life, you'll get to see which items she decides to keep with her or not, and you'll see these items grow old. Maybe some toys will get used and destroyed and things like that. And this will give you some clues into what's happening into her life. Sometimes you'll see some pictures with other characters, like some photos and things like that. Also, sometimes you'll move into a place and there might already be someone else's belongings there, and you'll get to discover these other characters' lives as well and figure out what role they play with the main character. Sometimes there's gonna be some of these items belonging to other characters that you can move, but sometimes you won't be able to move their items. And this will also give you some clues into what's happening. And this all seems really, really vague what I'm saying right now, and there are so many great moments I'd like to just give away to you, but I really don't want to spoil this game. I feel like everything I say would spoil a great moment, but trust me, there are some great moments, so just trust me, guys. This game managed to make me feel a wide array of emotions through its story, and it also made me reflect on all the times I moved in my life. You know, sometimes you move because something good happens, sometimes you move because something bad happens, but I think for most people, moving is a pretty big life event. In fact, moving can often be a life-changing decision, and life has ups and downs, and honestly, I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but this game made me reflect a lot and feel lots of emotions, and I could relate to the characters in a few ways, and I'm always impressed when a video game manages to do that. So if you're looking for a game that's gonna do that to you, I would definitely recommend you check out Unpacking. Also, this game has a beautiful, relaxing soundtrack that fits the mood of each stage in the character's life. So maybe one time the character is gonna move for something happy that's happening in her life, so there's gonna be like uplifting music. Another time she might move for something sad that happens in her life, so there's gonna be some sad music. I'll put some music so you guys can listen. Actually, it's playing in the background of this video. But yeah, it's just very, very cozy. So if you just want to relax, I think this is a great game to play. Also, one thing I really like, beside the music and the story and everything else, is that this game takes place from 1997 to 2018, and in these 21 years, you'll get to see, of course, life-changing events for the main character, but also it was so much fun to see the items evolve. For example, at the beginning of the game, you'll have this big old beige computer, you'll have a Tamagotchi and a Game Boy, which right away will bring a lot of nostalgia for some people just seeing these items. But what was interesting was seeing these items go away and getting replaced by maybe a newer laptop and different game consoles. I think that was really, really exciting every time I saw a new game console, because they're all inspired from real life consoles. You might also recognize a few specific games and movies. So every time I was unpacking a box and taking out a new item, I was always excited to see what it was gonna be and if it's a reference to something that exists in real life. So that's one part of the game that I really, really liked, and this also brought back so many memories for me, just seeing these different items. So once again, I will avoid spoiling because I want you to discover that by yourself, but it really is a joy to see what items will come up every time out of the box. Now, of course, no game is perfect, so I'll go over one thing that I didn't like. So unpacking clothes felt very tedious. So while the clothes did change a bit from a place to the next, that character has quite a lot of clothing, and putting every piece one by one on hangers or folding them, putting in the drawers, especially the underwear. She has a lot of underwear. It just felt quite repetitive and tedious because it was pretty much always the same thing every time, especially during the second half of the game, where like you basically have to put the same clothes back like 8 times, right, for every time you move to somewhere new. So yeah, this just got a little bit tedious with the clothes. I usually kept this for last, and I kind of wish there was a workaround to avoid placing the clothes. I wish they would come in like a bundle together where you don't have to place every little piece individually. And in real life, I would probably try to arrange them by color, or at least place them neatly by types of clothing. But here, I feel like there was no incentive to really place them neatly, so I didn't feel the need to do that. However, I have to say this did not really affect my experience of the game. I still really, really enjoyed the game. And who knows, maybe unpacking clothes will be your favorite part of the game. If it is, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But for me, I didn't like that part too much. But other than that, I've had so much fun with this game. And I'm gonna conclude here. I said it at the beginning of the video, so it's not a surprise, but this game is so unique, so relaxing. From the satisfaction you get from opening drawers and placing items to following this character as she goes through different stages of her life, this game really is an experience not a lot of games are able to make me feel, and I would say it's most likely the most unique game I have played in 2021. So if you guys have played Unpacking, I'm very curious to know what you thought of it. Just be mindful of the spoilers in the comments, so if you guys want to read comments, just be careful. If you guys want to leave a comment, just be mindful. And I feel like this whole review was very vague, but yeah, just trust me guys, this game is really good. You should play it, and after you've played it, please come back to this video and let me know what you thought of this game. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.